It is now 2 months until the Serpent Trail 100k, another race that's going to push my distance a bit further. I'm looking forward to this one. I think it's going to be a very different race to the South Downs Way 50. You know, instead of running along like a ridge line, you're running mostly, I think, through wooded areas and a bit less of an aggressive course. So yeah, I think this could be quite an enjoyable race. Probably the thing I'm most nervous about is the heat. I do not know how on earth I'm going to run this race if it's like 25 degrees Celsius or hotter. I mean, it's going to impact everything from like how fast I run it to what I'm going to eat, like how much water I need to drink, like and how many salt tabs I'm going to need to consume. Like I typically just carry like the litre of water, but I think I might take an extra soft flask if the weather's crazy hot. It's just going to totally change the dynamic of this race. I think I need to go into this race with the expectation that I'm not going to run it hard. If it's hot and I try and run it like I ran the South Downs Way 50, I'm just going to be wrecked. So I'm very much setting the expectation now that this is going to be like an easier race. In terms of like the course, it's not as aggressive as the South Downs Way 50, it's not as hilly as a course, and all of the hills are in the first half of the course, so the back 40k is relatively flat for an ultra. That'll be fine as long as I'm not cramping, because if I'm having to run for 40k on cramping legs, I'm going to be having a terrible, terrible time. So yeah, hence why the pacing strategy is very much take it easy, so hopefully I'm still in reasonable shape towards the back end of this race. And also, I'm going to be running this for, I don't know, 12, 14 hours, but I'm probably going to need to eat like proper food. South Downs Way 50, it was gels and tailwind. I think I'm going to have to shift what I'm eating to more solid food. But again, I'm going to have to test that out in training to see how my body responds. Since the South Downs Way 50, I've just been focused on recovery, had a week of fully off, and then a week of just easing back into running. I do feel like my body's recovered pretty well. I'm not really seeing any effects, any signs of damage, which is good, but I do feel super sluggish. And I don't know if other people find this when they've had a bit of a break from running and they get back into it. The first few runs are terrible. I feel like I've had 2 weeks of that, and I did a math test yesterday and it kind of reiterated that. Since the South Downs Way 50, my running pace at my math heart rate has dropped by like 20 seconds per kilometre, which is like, it's gone from like 5 minutes per kilometre to 5:20. So I do feel like I've lost a little bit of fitness. I'm hoping that as I build my training back up, that's just going to kind of rebound. But yeah, my watch is constantly telling me that I'm unproductive, and my VO2 max has dropped to 55 from 57. So I definitely feel like I need to kind of get back into shape, get back into the flow of training, and I haven't quite got there yet. I did have an expectation that I would have put on weight since the South Downs Way 50. I've basically just been eating whatever I want and not worrying about my diet, and I've not been running nearly as much. But I weighed myself yesterday, and actually I'm still at around 71 kilograms, so pretty happy with that, can't really complain. I think I'll focus on trying to bring that down, but yeah, maybe 3 or 4 kilograms over the next couple of months would be nice, but I'm not going to worry too much about it. I just need to get back to sorting out my diet and eating better food. So my training for this race, I'll put it up on the screen, but essentially I'm trying to aim to ease back up to about 100k per week, and then roughly keep the weekly volume at about that level. I don't want to push it as much as I did for the South Downs Way 50. I want to shift more of my focus over to my long runs. My longest run for my previous race was 40k, but I was aiming for a 50k training run. For this race, 100k race, I think I'm going to try and aim for a 60k long run. I think that'll give me the confidence that I've got the ability to run 100k in a race if I can do 60 in a training run. That's the logic anyway. And then back-to-back long runs of like 50k and 40k. And because my long runs are going to be that much longer, I'm going to reduce my volume in the week leading up to those long runs. So as opposed to like the last training block where I was doing like 20k daily runs, and then at the weekend trying to do like over a marathon, I think I'm going to try and reduce that significantly. So maybe I'm doing like 8k in the week, and then go out and do the long run at the weekend. So hopefully my body's significantly more recovered for those long runs, and therefore they don't impact impact my training, and hopefully I can avoid any sort of injuries, because I've only got 8-9 weeks. So if I do get injured, my fitness is going to take a big hit. A few other things I'm considering: I'm going to continue to pace my easy runs with my MAF heart rate. I think that worked really well in the last training box, so I'm going to continue with that. In terms of hills, I'm not going to focus as much on hills, so I'm not going to do like too many hill sprint sessions, or I'm not going to put in too many hills into my long runs or anything like that. So this is a less hilly course, so from a training perspective I'm not going to stress about it. The previous race I was really worried about my lack of hill training, but actually I think for this race I'm not going to be too concerned about it at all. In terms of this race at the moment, I've kind of got an expectation that I'll do it in somewhere between 12 and 14 hours, massively dependent on what the weather's like on the day. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to this one. I'm going to document my experience, my build up to the race. I'll take the camera on the race as well, so hopefully make another race film. But yeah, well, thanks for watching, and thanks for following along. All right, cheers, bye.